My name is Shelby Perry. I'm 32 years old, and I am the founder and creator of EYEHESIVE. Okay. I'm a very determined and committed person. I'm a good listener, and I really strive to be a problem solver. I am passionate about helping other people. That's something that fuels this fire in me, and I've been doing it in different realms throughout my life. I was an esthetician, so helping people kind of in the beauty industry. I'm a yoga instructor. I've taught at a lot of different facilities, as far as children therapeutic preschool, to elderly homes, to big corporate yoga studios, to recovery centers. And now I'm on this new mission and passion of helping people that have lost an eye, either in one or both eyes, and wear a prosthetic eye. That came into my life 2 years ago. I'm originally from Salt Lake City, Utah. I moved to San Diego April 28, 2020 during the pandemic to get sober. The sobriety is a huge part of my story, and also a big aspect of where I like to help people get and stay sober. And then on my 10 months of sobriety, I was at home in my home state of Salt Lake City, and I was in a snowboarding incident, which then later resulted in the removal of my right eye, which happened to fall the day after I took 1 year of sobriety. That's a great question. Some challenges I faced was actually finding a community. And like I said, I know how important that is for the healing aspect. Just because I've had to do it in my life for other various reasons, like when getting sober. So finding people that could relate to me and what I was going through. I was in so much fear of like what this meant for my future. Was I gonna be able to drive again? Was I gonna be able to do the sports and activities that I enjoyed doing before? You know, gonna be able to live a normal life? Like, what if something happened to my good eye? So a lot of fears, and just a lot of like isolation and loneliness for the first, 6-7 months during that whole process. And that's like what really amped this, opportunity for me to kind of get out there and build this community. I love bringing people together. That's another strength that I have. So everything that I do in EYEHESIVE are just all things that I wish that I had when I first lost my eye. EYEHESIVE it started kind of just as a community base. So after I lost my eye, I knew how important community is, how important it is to share stories and find people that can actually relate to your story. And I learned a lot of that aspect through getting sober and being in the program and in AA. And so from that background, I knew that I needed to have a similar background to be able to get through, or similar steps, I guess, to get through the loss of my eye. I didn't know anybody that had lost an eye or had a prosthetic eye. So I set out on social media to start to find people. I shared my story, and slowly more and more people started reaching out with stories of their own. So at first I was just sharing these stories, still that, but we've added a lot more resources, videos on what to expect during an eye removal surgery, videos on the prosthetic eye process. We've held 2 conferences, or we've held 1 conference, and then we're hosting another one in April. I now am doing one-on-one personalized coaching with people in the community. So anytime that there seems to be a lack in the community that's needed, I just kind of show up and start to offer that. And that's kind of how it's just evolved over the last 1.5 years. EyeConnect conference, we held one back in October, and now our next one is April 22nd. So if you haven't gotten your ticket yet, you can go to eyehesive.com to get your ticket. It is 3.5 hours long. We have 4 prominent speakers within the community speaking at the conference. We go over a variety of topics, all which are things that have been brought to me from people in the community, or that I've just heard shared a lot. So like overcoming those obstacles and challenges with a prosthetic eye. Again, that self-love, self-healing aspect. We always talk about how to overcome bullying, not just in person, but online. And then we always have an ocularist who shares on that process of receiving a prosthetic eye, how to find the right ocularist, just any questions you may have about that process. And then we have an optometrist as well, and she will be sharing about how to just maintain really healthy vision with whatever vision you have left, and the importance of having annual eye exams. There's always Q&A. We do breakout rooms as well. So all the attendees have have time to get to know each other, to talk amongst themselves. You know, it's just a really, really fun, safe space for everyone to come together, to get to know each other more, to be in a space where they can just share openly with people that can really relate to their stories. My number one advice is always to ask for help. I know that can be really hard. I had a very hard time doing that at first. I just wasn't used to needing some additional help or, you know, asking for help. But the more I learn, and even as I grow EYEHESIVE in this business and like set goals and try to achieve things in my life, like I've realized that I don't get very far if I'm not constantly asking for help and asking for other people's maybe insight with whatever I'm trying to get to, because they always have answers to some of the challenges that I'm facing, whether that is from losing an eye to building a business. I think asking for help is one of the best things to help get the answers you need to succeed. Success looks like, you know, obviously being happy, and I think that comes from just being really kind to people. It looks like asking for help so that you can achieve whatever it is that you want to achieve. You can fill in all those little gaps to hit those mile markers, those goals. Success also to me looks like having a community of people who you can really lean on for support and not feel so alone or isolated. The EYE-Powerment Program is the one-on-one coaching program where I take individuals that have lost an eye, and it's a 5-month program, so we meet once a month, and I work with families as well too. So a lot of parents that have young children that have lost an eye, and whatever the reason is, there's a lot of reasons that someone could have an eye removed. It's really beneficial whether you've lost an eye 20 years ago or you just recently lost an eye. The steps that we go through in the program are just creating safety in your own thoughts, your own emotions, and not feeling alone in either of those, and being able to share and talk with someone who's been through those exact same thoughts and emotions. We really work on finding full love for yourself, acceptance for your appearance, any insecurities that you may struggle with having the prosthetic eye. I encourage people to like step into their eye-powering story and just feel really empowered with their own story. We also set a lot of goals and just make sure that we're fulfilling goals, whatever that might be in your own life. So whatever you're currently struggling with in the moment, we always kind of dive in, hit on those topics, really find solutions to those problems. So it's very tailored to whatever your specific needs are. Some of the more specific results that have occurred with families that I'm working with are just initiating conversations with their young children and how to open that conversation so the kids feel very open to what to expect, what to ask ocularists or doctors, how to communicate with the children's teachers, how to handle situations with like bullying or other cases that might arise as a child grows up with a prosthetic eye. Some of the results that occur with my older, adult clients is they just have this new understanding and self-image about themselves with their prosthetic eye, the goals that they want to achieve in life, better understanding of their own thoughts and emotions. They don't have to feel alone. So already just feeling supported on their journey, and then wherever they're at, we just kind of shoot for bigger, goals or mile markers in their lives. So I guess my legacy or the impact that I want to leave and be remembered by is just the way I help people, the way I show up, being committed to helping people get the results that they want, to have people not feel so alone with whatever they're going through or the challenges that they're facing. I want to be remembered for starting something from the ground up and building it and kind of figuring it out along the way.